Om. Om. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Om. What I have recited is very popular among the devotees of Buddha. You approach Buddha's statue or wherever you are, and these special statements are made. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. I take refuge in Buddha. Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. I take refuge in Dhamma. Dhamma means Dharma, Sanskrit word. The Buddhist literature is modified Sanskrit, known as Pali. So Dharma you say in Sanskrit, Dhamma you say in Buddhism. The knower of truth is not affected which way. You take refuge in Dhamma. That is the conduct, the righteous conduct, the example of life that Buddha presented. To follow that, to emulate the teachings of Buddha in daily life. In order to do that, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Take refuge in Sangha. Sangha is congregations that upheld the teachings of Buddha. And in a broad way, it means wherever there is spiritual gathering, Satsanga. Take refuge in Satsanga. Buddha, the word itself is Sanskrit word, comes from the Vedas. It means enlightened. Shuddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi. Even before Buddha's birth as Siddhartha Buddha that we are now celebrating. This teaching was given by mother to their children in cradle song. They didn't know the modern songs, you see. So the baby is put on the cradle and the mother is singing. O child, Shuddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi. You are pure. You are not this little body that you are showing. You are enlightened. The soul that shines in you is the absolute. Niranjanosi. You have come into the world of all lots of black suits, and I'm not talking about this suit. World of limitations. But all this limitation doesn't touch you. You are Niranjan, spotless. Sansara Maya Parivarjitosi. This world is full of illusions. No two persons think the same way. No two persons see the same object in the same way. One is here in Satsanga, another is in the stock market. Sansara Maya. No one knows what is to be acquired in the world. What are we here for? Why are we located on this earth planet? Why not in the Mars? No one knows that. Sansara Maya. Parivarjitosi, you are beyond this, all these illusions. So now I have to rush into the real story. So, 6th century before Christ, in Nepal, the north of India, there is a capital city, Kapilavastu. Buddha was born, more precisely, 560 BC. He belonged to the line of Sakya kings. So he is also known as Shakya Muni when he attained enlightenment. His father's name is Shuddhodan. Shuddha term means pure. On that basis. And his mother's name is Maya Devi. All Sanskrit names. They were pure Hindus, devotees of Rama, Krishna. It was some special occasion, and the king and the Maya Devi, they were traveling. But on the way in a wonderful forest, Maya Devi gave birth to Siddharth, young baby. And of course, the scriptures of Buddhism and devotees describe it in a highly elegant way. Maya Devi had a special type of dream before she gave birth. And the whole setting of the forest was exceedingly wonderful. I will not delay going into that direction. You must realize that whenever your mind turns to describe a sage, everything from his beginning to end is divine. But if your mind turns to someone that is not a sage, just ordinary, everything is bad from beginning. It's up to you. When you attain enlightenment, everything from the beginning to end becomes glorious. If you don't, then everything is negative. So keeping that understanding, otherwise people become too intellectual and literal. That when Buddha was born, who were there at that time? How was the star conjunction up there in the sky? Was the moon just like the moon was here yesterday? All that doesn't mean anything. Big devotees, not on a high level, they become shocked. Why are you not describing all those wonderful things? But I'm in a dilemma. Even at this moment, all things are exceedingly wonderful. Purna Madaha Purna Midam, that's full, this is full. If you don't believe it, you're a fool. So, but anyway. So, Maya Devi gave birth, and 7 days after childbirth, Maya Devi passed away. The child was brought up by foster mother, Maha Prajapati. And his name was, the name that was given to him, Siddhartha. Siddha, perfect. Artha, purpose. One in whose life he has gained perfection. The purpose of life has been fulfilled. So it's similar as saying Buddha. This is easy to understand. Country like in India, the old tradition, children are named after divine personalities. A person may be extremely poor, but he can be named Kubera, God of treasure. This tradition goes into other, in Spanish and other places also. And that's a good tradition. Everyone should be given a name that has subtle divine association instead of just giving ordinary association. Lettuce or called cabbage. Gautama was his family name. Later he was known as Shakyamuni because he comes from a special clan of Shakya kings. From early days he was extremely sensitive, full of royal qualities, brave and powerful. But the quality of his heart was extraordinary. When he was 16 years of age, he was married to Princess Yashodhara. And they had a son, Rahul. That's giving you the general data. The Kapil Vastu, where Buddha was born and began his life, that's north of India, 100 miles north of Benares, what's called Varanasi, Kashi of the modern time. Most places in North India, they are all touched by Buddha's presence. And many names, the country from which my body comes in is called Bihar. Bihar is a term used by Buddhists. Wherever they created their satsanga, they named it Bihar. Bihar means a playground. People are always in a state of misery. They don't have relaxation, a real playground. So wherever satsanga atmosphere was there was Bihar. You begin to discover the amazing glory of your inner self and work upon a process that will end all your miseries. But in early stage, when Buddha was just in the process of growing, the king consulted astrologers and they made a forecast that he will be greatest personality. And of course, the king was exceedingly happy to know that. But there is always a but. He can as well become a renouncer of all, absolute renunciate, and completely discarding kingdom and all royalty. The king became concerned and said, what can we do? He said, there are 4 signs. If Buddha comes to visit those signs, then he will renounce. He will have nothing to do with you, your family. And those 4 points were, if he were to see anyone who is by physical disease has become completely kind of very awkward, and the body has become completely shriveled and tormented, if he sees that, that's movement towards his Buddhahood. Another person struck with old age, terribly old. And the third, dead body. Three prominent developments in every individual, no matter how smart you are. Therefore, don't be too smart. Work for attaining enlightenment, not for the body that is going to go through these. Your body identity should not be your goal. Your goal should be the profounder reality in you. In brief, you should attain Nirvana. Nirvana is same as liberation. I will explain that more. And this statement is an echo of Gita's teachings. Krishna gives to Arjuna characteristics of jnana. If wisdom were to dawn in your heart, certain qualities will develop. You will develop in the indriyartheshu vairagyam. All objects you will look at with a dispassionate mind. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. Your mind will be always intent upon understanding, why am I born? Being born is not a, let others celebrate it, but Deha dhare ka dand hai. Entering into the body means you are going to experience unmistakable expressions of misery. Janma, the very birth, is a wretched experience. Not for the person who plays with you. The father with most brisk, most rough mustache takes the baby. Loves so much they couldn't take away his piercing mustache from the tender body of the baby. Being a child, not a good thing. And mrityu, death, I don't need to elaborate on that. Vyadhi, disease. Everyone suffers from all this. But what Gita says as a statement, Buddha's life is dramatization. So when king came to know that these signs, if Buddha were to come upon them, he will renounce the kingdom. So he made a special plan to keep all these signs away from Buddha. That is, no sick person is allowed. If anyone fell sick, will be completely taken off the ground. So Buddha will not be able to interact. No old person. And of course, dead bodies doesn't walk, so. And what is the fourth? No monk is allowed to. The sannyas system was there much before Buddha. People who understood their goal of life, they adopted the path of renunciation. When Buddha's son was born, even prior, it occurred into his mind that, and the king was very happy with him. Things were working fine. He was married, child was going to come. And so Buddha suddenly proposed that, I haven't seen my kingdom. Am I not going to become the king? Could I see some of the royal path and how things are? So the king acceded to it, said, oh yes. But he created, prior to that plan of his visiting the capital city and passing through the roads on a old style vehicle, ridden by horse, all were kept in order. And Buddha passed. Suddenly a patient passes by who collapses right before Buddha. We would never know how people can become sick so easily, you see, in spite of king's orders. Buddha wanted to see the person who collapsed. And again, his driver told him, he's sick. Your Majesty, he's sick. So what is sick? Then he explains how anybody who comes into the world, body is maintained by the balance of three humors, old style Ayurvedic plan was presented to Buddha. That's how the body moves. I have to keep things in balance. But this man didn't do it. Something went wrong. So he collapsed. And even though he has eyes, he can't see. Even though he has the whole body, he can't walk. Buddha said, get out of this. I'm going back. Enough for today. Again, he wanted next day. This time, old man passed by, working with a little staff, moving in an awkward body, face wrinkled. And he asks, who has done this to this person? What is this? Again, the driver explained to him, that's the nature of things. Everyone. He said, my father will become like that? Yeah, yes. Will my Yashodhara will become like that? Surely. Even you. I'm dramatizing it to make you understand. Things are very simple before your eyes, but the mind doesn't work upon them. And the next day he sees a dead body. The body is perfectly good. In every way, from toes to the head, good qualities and good looks. Only one defect. It's dead. All this experience made him extremely thoughtful. And his mind began to work on what should be the resolution to this universal problem. So during the time when child was born, festivity was in progress, and people became little relaxed about the restrictions. So sannyasis started coming to bless the child. And Buddha, whose mind was completely immersed in all this problem, suddenly sees the sannyasis in the luminous. This was the time of full moon. Buddha was born on a full moon. He renounced the kingdom at a time when there was full moon. And he passed away when there was full moon. All the descriptions are highly figurative. So in brief, having seen the sannyasi, having talked to him, he figured out there is a way to allow the mind to reflect upon, to go through a mystic process of sadhana, to get at the very root of suffering. And so, without saying anything to anybody, he just, of course, he told his close servant who led him beyond the capital. And then he said goodbye and he passed on into deep forest. He went from teacher to teacher and learned different types of austerities. But he was extremely spiritually sensitive. So ordinary teachers belonging to ordinary cults, they were unable to inspire him. In this quest, he came to a place, modern time is called Buddha Gaya. And there he began to practice intense austerity. First he adopted a path of extremes. At that time, this story says that the divine plan wanted to give him some insight what to do. And that's truth about everyone. You are always in divine plan. Not even a needle is lost unless there is a meaning behind it. And divine miracle is even if you have lost the needle in a great haystack, you will find it. Your whole body is fashioned by miracle. I will not go into that detail. So, three musicians passed by. They had veena in their hand and they were singing. Do not tune your veena too tight, otherwise strings will break. Do not keep your veena too loose, the music will not flow. But neither too loose nor too tight, and the music will be bright. That's my point. Buddha gained the insight that through your body, through your physical, mental basis, you are working out state of enlightenment. So you have to maintain the body, maintain your nervous system, so you should not go into extremes. So his teachings had always that highlight of what called path of moderation, middle path. This point is also pointed out in the Gita, that you should not do anything in extreme. Keep your sadhana in a rhythmic pattern. So day by day it goes on enriching you. And I'm trying to give you highlight of this story, otherwise you'll be just stuck with the early stage. Buddha adopted the right course of sadhana. Again, there is a big dramatization. First, he was extremely starving. The divine plan arranged. A lady who had some pleasant experience, a child was born. Sujata was the name. She brought in rice pudding to offer to the village god, to the forest god. The forest god was hiding. But Buddha was there. So he offered it to Buddha. And Buddha said, I'm not the god. She said, doesn't matter. Eat it. In brief, Buddha ate it, gave him strength, and very soon, as a result of that, on the very same night, the dramatization that in deep meditation he confronts the root source of obstacle in the form of Mara. Mara is another name for Kamadeva, Cupid god. It distracts the mind. Cupid god comes with his sons and his daughters, and they are all the names of different impurities, discontent, craving. These are all the family of the Cupid god. They all come, he attacked Buddha. Just like it happened with Jesus. With every saintly personality, there comes a time when there is a good amount of trial. And Buddha emerged victorious. And he experienced enlightenment. Then it occurred to him that let me share this, let me guide people. First he approached some of the disciples who had left him when he was practicing strict austerity. They were very happy about him. But when he started lessening his austerity, they thought he missed his path. had left him. The Buddha sought out those disciples and he explained to them, and they became his first devotees. And then gradually his teachings began to spread. He continued to teach for 45 years. But let me give you some more points of the story. In one of his travels means these people walked, moved from village to village, propagating the teachings. In the course of that, he saw lots of animals were being led by some men who belonged to the government of that time. The king Bimbasar was performing a special yajna, a ritual. In that, lots of animals were to be sacrificed. There were goats. And Buddha saw this whole herd of animals going that way. He wanted to ask, what's going on? And the man explained to him, they are all they have a good fortune, they are going to be sacrificed. Buddha picked up one of these small goat, struggling with a profound love, like a mother picking up a child. He held the animal in his arms. Saying nothing, he followed the whole herd along with, comes to Bimbasar, the king. And the king is amazed to see Buddha's name had spread at that time. That such a great personality is coming in this yajna. What's the purpose? And Buddha says that I am also come as your sacrificial beast. Bimbasar said, please, what do you say? In brief, the whole confrontation led Bimbasar to understand that no good work can be achieved, no righteousness can be gained by sacrificing animals. That animals too have their feeling, they have their life. They want to be joyous, they want to be loved. And if their sufferings don't impact your heart, what type of human being are you? Bimbasar's heart opened to compassion, ignited by Buddha. And he became a Buddhist monk. But that led to 110,000 people that were with Bimbasar joined the congregation of Buddha. Then immediately his movement gathered momentum. During this time of all the fame and popularity, King Shuddhodhan came to know, and he happened to be close by Kapilavastu. He was especially invited. He meets his father. His father scolds him for renouncing everything. And he tells his father, I belong to a different clan. In my line, they're all are Buddhas. So don't look at me as your son. In brief, he didn't accept the kingdom that Shuddhodhan wanted to have. But during that time, again, he remembered his wife, Yashodhara, and wanted to know how she was. The news came to him that Yashodhara wouldn't come. Buddha himself went there. These are little things. Yashodhara fell at his feet, filled his feet with her tears, and Buddha gave, you will be the first nun in the Buddhist order. And she was exceedingly happy about it. Then as Buddha started departing, she got hold of her child, Rahul, who's been a grown-up boy. Said, go after your father. And catch hold of him, ask for any inheritance. Until he gives you inheritance, don't leave him. She started pursuing Buddha. The beginning, Buddha just ignored and went on. Later, he initiated him into monkhood. He became Buddhist monk. These are some of the highlights in Buddha's life. There are lots and lots of them. And now I'm going to give you some highlight of the teaching. 4 noble truths. The first truth Buddha taught, his whole philosophy and teaching was along these points. 4 noble truths. You must realize all philosophical teachings of Vedas are along these 4 lines. The first one, dukkha. Raja Yoga calls it the heya. Dukkha means pain, misery. Everyone suffers in this world. And that suffering must be understood. People ignore it. Time passes by and you are 15, now you become 30, now you become 40, now you become 15. And by 60, you don't realize something is knocking at the door. And still your mind is thinking, you are going to be very happy. You look at your money and you look at your how many fans are there in the modern times, how many people can you chat with, Twitters. How big is your face, Facebook? Simple point, your life is fleeting and you have the potentiality to attain Nirvana, the highest goal. So that is the first point, the first truth that your mind must become aware of. The second, cause of pain. The cause of pain. Kama. Kama means desire. Vishaya kama. There is always desire for pleasure. Buddhist terminology is kama trishna, bhava trishna, craving to maintain your existence in this world. Vibhava Krishna, craving to be fabulously famous. That craving haunts everyone. That's the cause of your coming back again and again. And the third great truth is that pain is not your essential nature. Nirvana is what is essential. Nirvana, absolutely extinction of pain. And it is the truth. Therefore, the fourth truth, what is the way to attain Nirvana? Three points. You need to develop prajna, shil and samadhi. Prajna relates to understanding. I'm trying to now simplify the teaching. All these three are detailed on in 8 points. The first point, samyak drishti. Develop insight into right action as well as wrong action. How to avoid wrong action and pursue right action. In 3 levels, in body, speech and mind. If you detail upon it, that you will not have time. This covers volumes. So the first point, right, samyak drishti, right insight. Samyak sankalpa, right resolve. Therefore you make a resolve that I will pursue the path of non-violence. One great highlight of Buddhist teaching is compassion. If you lack compassion, then all other qualities become little. They lose their potency. If compassion is there, then all other qualities will develop. In the study of avatars, Rama highlighted the practice of truth. Krishna highlighted the practice of love. And Buddha highlighted the practice of compassion. Satya, Prem and Karuna. So that sankalpas has to develop within you. Just as you don't want to be hurt, things that hurt you, why should you allow those things to be directed to others? When you are in confusion, always look at yourself. I'm doing this. If that person did that to me, will I like it? If I don't, then I will not do the same thing. Samyak vachan, right speech. Give up false speech, bitter speech, and vain speech. False speech, lying, bitter, words that are going to hurt people. Vain, just taking time. People drunk in a bar, talking lots of things. Samyak karmant. The right type of action. And that relates to Panchashil, what's termed as yamas in Raja Yoga. Ahimsa, non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, non-drinking, etc. Samyak Ajivika, right type of job. Your job should be sattvic. Choose a type of job that puts you in a situation of satsanga, to help people, to share good knowledge, to elevate their feelings. Samyak Vyayam, maintaining right effort for developing noble feelings and shining qualities of your heart. Shobhan Bhavana. Next point is Samyak Smriti. Remember these points that we are being told. Gain more and more insight into the transience of your body, into things that lead you to pleasure, pain, and various experiences. Insight into what your mind does, what is called anasakti, detachment, what will lead you to liberation. And the last, called samadhi, samyak samadhi. Reach that state of enlightened mind. Enlightened intellect. This Upanishad calls it prajna. That brings about nothingness. All things of this world, anything that you think in your mind is not the reality. You must realize your goal is to shed the mind itself. Therefore, the emphasis in Buddhism is Nirvana, shedding the mind. The sadhana is characterized by 3 points. Papa Nirodh, move away from sinful actions, degrading actions that create negative karmas. Punya Sanchaya, continue to create good karmas. Chitta Shuddhi, lead yourself to purity of heart. And then there emerges the inclination to look at your ego as an illusion. And once the ego subsides, that's your goal. The Upanishad terms it neti neti. Jnana Yoga gives you two definitions. One neti neti, work upon nothing, not this, not this, not this. Anything that comes in your mind, not this. Buddha upholds that particular aspect. Another one, anything that comes in your mind is I am that, I am that. That I am is absolute joy. I am all this. Gita runs it, Brahma Nirvana. Nirvana term comes from Buddha and Brahma comes from Upanishads. 2 aspects and understanding is full understanding. Brahma Nirvana gacchati. The second chapter says. It will end with one little episode. Once Buddha was seated under a tree in meditation. It's wintry time. A farmer was in his house by the fireside, and his family, all were there. And it was clouds came in the sky, lightning flashed, and the farmer looked through his window and sees, and the illumination of the lightning, there was a monk under the tree. He turns to his people around and says, "Look at what a wastage of life. These monks, what are they doing?" So, in order to ridicule the monk, he opens the window and says, "Oh clouds, rain and rain, thunder and rain. Because I have cultivated my land, I have filled my home with lots of food, lots of comfortable items, and we are all happy. Therefore come, rain." And his intention was to ridicule the monk. The monk happened to be Buddha. Buddha also, to his great surprise, shouted, "Oh rain, come! Thunder and rain, because I have cultivated my land. I sowed the seed of faith. I nourished those seeds with the rain of good actions. I plowed the field of my mind with the help of viveka and vairagya, discrimination and dispassion. I used shama and dhamma, serenity and control of senses, as the oxen that plow. And I have removed all the weeds of doubts, delusions, fear, and birth and death. And Nirvana is the harvest I have attained. So, oh rain, come." When the farmer heard that, his mind was swept. He and his family come out and bow, realize they have heard of Buddha's teachings. They didn't know how powerful those teachings were. So they come and adore him, etc., etc. And therefore try to adore Buddha in your heart. And with that adoration, you must understand all sages are being adored. No one is an special. Whether you turn your mind to Buddha, to Jesus, to Krishna, to Rama, your movement is exactly the same. And one day you turn to Buddha, another day to Jesus, no one is upset about it. Om Shanti Shanti.